The give and go. Good shot. Go, 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 go.
It's time for live coverage of Prep Spring Sports on the NCWLIFE Channel, your local TV station. Our broadcast is brought to you in part by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Abby's Pizza, Apple Valley Honda, Biosports Physical Therapy, Coldwell Banker Cascade Real Estate, Global Car Care, Harvest Valley Pest Control, Highlander Golf Course and Grill, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling, Kennedy Real Estate Group, Les Schwab, Sangster Motors, Save Mart, Tacos Chava, Together for Youth, and Valley Tractor. Now let's head to the field for all the action live on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE Channel.
Clinton makes it a 5-0 ball game.
The give and go. Good shot. Go, 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 go.
It's time for live coverage of Prep Spring Sports on the NCWLIFE Channel, your local TV station. Our broadcast is brought to you in part by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Abby's Pizza, Apple Valley Honda, Biosports Physical Therapy, Coldwell Banker Cascade Real Estate, Global Car Care, Harvest Valley Pest Control, Highlander Golf Course and Grill, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling, Kennedy Real Estate Group, Les Schwab, Sangster Motors, Save Mart, Tacos Chava, Together for Youth, and Valley Tractor. Now let's head to the field for all the action live on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE Channel.
Clinton makes it a 5-0 ball game.
Good afternoon, baseball fans, and welcome to a Sunsplash Spring Day here at Recreation Park. Along with Brandon Schmitten, I'm Eric Granstrom on the NCWLIFE Channel. It is a battle for first place in the Big Nine between the 9-0 Wenatchee Panthers and the 6-0 Moses Lake Mavericks. It's really the first challenge for either team this year, isn't it, Brandon?
Yeah, that's right. They've had some good non-league games. Moses Lake played against Mount Si, who's playing really well this year, and then Wenatchee played against Sela as well.
Right.
But in league play, they've played the bottom half of the league, including Eastmont, I hate to say, but we've been struggling a little bit. So, but these two teams are definitely two of the top teams in our league this year.
Well, Eastmont's helping out with, or I should say Brandon's helping out with the Eastmont program, so appreciate you having a bye. Now let's talk about that. Moses Lake hasn't played for about a week or so. When you have that time off, is that good? Is that bad? I mean, baseball, it's not a momentum type game.
Yeah, I know for us, we've had a couple kids that got injured this last week, and so for the time off, that's really good. One thing, as a coach, you need to make things competitive so they don't lose that competitive spirit. Also keep them involved in enjoying the game, because nowadays kids tend to waver off a little bit, and I know that Donnie is doing a really good job there and always is competitive with the kids, so they're going to be coming out ready to go this week.
Yeah, we're looking forward to this one. It's Wenatchee, it's Moses Lake. We're going to try to wrangle the coaches as we continue with the pregame show coming up here from Recreation Park on the NCWLIFE Channel right after this.
When you enjoy Abby's Pizza at your place, close your eyes and you can taste old-fashioned values, classic pizza parlor decor, and generations of tradition. Recreate that magic. Open your eyes and head to Abby's.com. With pickup and delivery options, no matter where you dine, Abby's just tastes better. This is Skinny, and he helped found Abby's 60 years ago. In honor of Skinny, we're putting his favorite pizza on sale. Savory pizza sauce, Canadian bacon piled to the edge, and juicy tomatoes make this a very special pizza. Order your Skinny special right now at Abby's.com.
NCWLIFE Channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCWLIFE would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
Our pregame show continues here on the NCWLIFE Channel. Now visiting with Donnie Lindgren, the head man for the Moses Lake Mavericks. Off to a 6-0 start, but you've had a little time away from the game. So what do you guys do? I know it's spring break time and all that kind of stuff. How do you guys manage?
Well, I tell you, I made 3 trips down here to Wenatchee this last week, and one to watch Eastmont West Valley to scout them, one to watch Eisenhower and Wenatchee, and then we practiced the other day. So there's really no break, but it's tough over spring break not getting any games in. So we'll see how we come out and play today.
How do you continue to manufacture these teams year after year after year that seem to be at the top of the Big Nine?
I've got great youth programs, summer programs, and guys that just feed in. And my assistant coaches, I always call them, they're just a extension of me. They're head coaches, but I just have the head coach title. So I've got great coaching staffs, and the youth program in Moses Lake is wonderful.
Talk about this matchup. First of 3 you're going to play this week against Wenatchee. What are you expecting today?
Well, we're hoping to keep them under 10. They're a run-scoring machine, and we're hoping to keep it somewhat close. Our pitching has been really pretty good this year. Our defense has been a little suspect. We haven't hit real well, so we're hoping to make at least one game out of the 3 fun for people to watch. But this is a good baseball team, and we're going to do the best we can.
Well, thanks for taking the time. Appreciate it, Donnie.
You bet. Thank you very much.
There you go, Donnie Lindgren joining us here. The pregame show continues. Hopefully, I don't know, they're doing in and out here. We'll try to get the coach for Wenatchee, Mr. Skyleman, coming up here on the NCWLIFE Channel as we bring you Big Nine baseball today.
Apple Valley Honda is bringing the future of driving to you. Introducing the all-new, all-electric Honda Prologue EV. Say goodbye to gas stations and hello to a whisper-quiet ride and zero emissions. The wait is over. Finally, a local option for a quality EV from a brand with a track record of exceptional quality and reliability. Experience the Honda Prologue EV for yourself at family-owned Apple Valley Honda. Stay close to home and visit us at Apple Valley Honda today for the life you live.
Our pregame show continues here on the NCWLIFE Channel. We're getting ready for Wenatchee and Moses Lake, and Josh Skyleman joining us now. Off to a 10-0 start to top the Big Nine. That's where you want to be, right?
Yeah, that's the goal. Still trying to build on some things from last year. Still have a long ways to go. So working on things every day.
Well, let's talk about that and what you've been able to accomplish so far. You talked to us last year about being aggressive, especially on the base paths. Boy, I'll tell you, you are so far this season. Is that key to get the offensive juice flowing? Yeah,
bats don't always show up, so when guys can be aggressive, it's a good thing. So still building on a lot of things, still a long ways to go to get where we want to be, but some good progress this year.
You've got some underclassmen that are performing really well right now.
Yeah, it's we're across all grade groups, so it's a big thing. Guys are coming together a lot better this year, and everybody's contributing, so it's good to see.
Only a couple of wins against this team, and going back to 2023 before you were even involved with the program here. But talk about Moses Lake and talk about this challenge. Donnie seems to always put together a good club.
Yeah, they play real solid baseball. They're not going to beat themselves, so you really got to play solid baseball. They come out and they throw strikes. They're not going to walk a bunch of guys, so it's a good baseball contest.
Well, best of luck here today. Keep everybody healthy.
Thank you.
All right, there you go. Josh Skyleman joining us here on the pregame show. We will come back, get to the lineups, get to the first pitch coming up from Recreation Park here on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Well, Well, good welcome back here to Recreation Park. They were starting very early here. The clock apparently doesn't matter to the umpires or to the crew here, as there's a deep fly ball to left center field, and center field are able to track it down. Nice job by Owen Irvin there. That's the second out of the top of the first inning, as Jacoby Munoz was ground out to the third baseman. That was Johnny Purcell, who flies out to center field. And 2 down quickly here for the Moses Lake Mavericks in the top of the first inning. That brings up Noah Hernandez. He's playing in right field. Batting, well, cleanup will be first baseman Jacoby Fulbright. It's Cooper Hancock, the DH, batting fifth. Cruz Martinez is at third base, and this ground ball is to the left side of the infield. The throw is away from the first baseman, so down to second goes the base runner, and he'll be safe at second. And I had my head down on the play, and apparently just a wild throw there,
Yeah,
Brandon?
it was Ryan Rainbolt over at third base there. He had the first play of the game, and I was thinking to myself that he got rid of it a little bit quick, and he tried to do the same thing there, maybe unnecessarily threw it a little early and didn't set his feet and just skipped it over there, and Brock wasn't able to receive the hop there.
So an error on the third baseman will put a runner at second base for Moses Lake with 2 down, as this pitch swung on and hit in the air to shallow left field, and the left fielder dives for it. Does he make the catch? The runner rounding third will head home, but he will not be a scorer because they're going to call it a catch in left field. Diving play out there by Ryan Branham. We're going to keep it here since we got here a little bit tardy to start the ball game, but a couple of good plays in the outfield to start it off defensively for Wenatchee.
Yeah, that first ball hit to Owen Irvin in center field. That thing carried. And you can expect that coming off of a left-handed batter, but for it to tail away from our center fielder, but that kept on going and going.
Let's talk about the lineups here for the Wenatchee Panthers, announced by their head coach Josh Skyleman, with a record, as we mentioned, 9-0 on the season so far. Owen Irvin, who made that good play in the left center field to start it off, will lead off here for Coach Skyleman. The center fielder batting second will be Nolan Godfrey at second base. Matthew Butler, the shortstop, will bat third. Cleanup is the catcher, James Butler. Brock Toffness at first base will bat fifth. Batting sixth is Ryan Rainbolt, the third baseman. Ryan Bratton, the left fielder, who made that dynamic play moments ago, is batting in the 7 hole. Raider Haynes, the pitcher, will also bat for himself in the 8th spot. And Griffin Butler will be in right field and batting 9th. So there are your lineups. The umpires, by the way, today, Nick Darlington is behind home plate calling balls and strikes, and Dan Kulig is out on the base pass. All right, I feel like we're caught up a little bit here.
Yeah.
We did have a chance to talk to the coaches, but because of administrative being in a hurry here at Recreation Park this afternoon. Well, it is a little different because until now, the single game started at 4 o'clock.
Right, they did.
So it's odd to have, and you mentioned you got here early thinking, how come nobody's getting ready to go here? The game starts like in 10 minutes.
I told you last night, I said, I'll be there at 3 o'clock. Hopefully that's early enough.
Yeah,
You're like,
fine, that's great. I love it when you come early. So Owen Irvin will step up and lead it off here for the Wenatchee Panthers. Irvin batting .385 on the season. In his 16 games, or in his games so far, I should mention, he's had 16 plate appearances and off to a good start with 8 RBI. And as we mentioned, Wenatchee likes to put the ball in play. They like to put the guys in motion on the base paths, as they're one of the top teams in the state of Washington right now for stolen bases.
Yeah, and Owen's a guy that, speaking of Jackie Robinson Day, we were speaking about that earlier. He gets out on base and dances around a little bit like Jackie Robinson used to. And he gets a lead like I haven't seen very often in high school, and he can flat run.
Kind of the Ricky Henderson leads over there at first base.
Yeah.
Well, he's behind in the count here at 1-2, as it is Kaysen Whitaker pitching here, and he'll hit the batter on the fourth pitch of the ball game, and so down with a free pass to first, and there is trouble afoot with Irvin on the base pass. That'll bring up Nolan Godfrey. Brandon, I love having you with us on the call, aside from you getting a day off from coaching for Eastmont here as an assistant coach with the Wildcats. You also have had a chance to coach a lot of these guys in summer programs and things like that.
Yeah, that's right. Last summer, My son Camden played for the River Dogs out of Moses Lake, and so we had a lot of these guys on our team. And then in previous years, I've
they got
nice
him.
Move.
Wow. Godfrey at the plate was squaring the bunt and leading off a little bit too far. You talked about Owen Irvin on those aggressive leads, and a beautiful pickoff move by Whitaker, so they erase the base runner right there. Caught stealing is Owen Irvin.
Yeah, that was a good move. I actually had a conversation with Kaysen before the game, and talked to him about, hey, you obviously know Irvin's going to run. What are you going to do? And he said, I'm going to pick off and pick off and pick off and pick off and, until he got it done. So that only took him one.
Yeah, how about that? So 0-1 here. Check swing. He went around according to the home plate umpire. So 0-2 the count to Nolan Godfrey, who will be followed by Matthew Butler here in the bottom of the first. Scoreless here for this game on a Tuesday. Beautiful day here at Recreation Park. Pitch on the way is off speed, missing just a bit outside. And you can hear some of the Moses Lake fans have made the trek from the basin groaning at that one.
Yeah, not too happy, but that definitely was outside.
1-2 the count, and again Whitaker's pitch swung on and fouled back. Staying alive is Godfrey. Our broadcast here on the NCWLIFE Channel brought to you in part by our platinum supporter Alpine Air Heating and Cooling in Wenatchee. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Give them a call today at 509-662-6842. They're on the web at alpineair.net. Along with Brandon Schmitten, Eric Granstrom with you. Bouncing in is ball 2 here, as Whitaker goes off speed again, and that evens the count to Godfrey at 2-2. And as a guy who likes to watch pitchers, your son's a pitcher part-time. Yeah. You like a guy who's ahead in the count to kind of go with some junk stuff.
Definitely. Coach Irvin, that used to be the head coach here, Owen's dad, he always had the saying of first pitch strike, FPS. So that's something that you get ahead, and then now you're on the offensive instead of the defensive as a pitcher.
Right.
So
Whitaker deals, and the next pitch misses away after a foul ball that went out of play. So the count now runs full to Godfrey. Good eye there for Godfrey at 3-2 as the Panthers bat with one down here in the bottom of the first. Scoreless game so far at Recreation Park. Pitch on the way, swung on, and a fly ball to left center. Back on his horse is Carlos out there, and he will range under it and make the catch. This ballpark seems a lot bigger than it is. It says 385 to straightaway center field, but it just, maybe it's the ivy hanging on the fence out there. It just looks deep.
And, we had this conversation earlier, too. I played baseball here when I was in high school for summer ball and stuff, and I honestly don't remember many balls ever getting out to center field.
It's got to be a crank, and usually it seems to go out right field, then to left field or center here. This is a base hit by the Panthers, rounding first, heading for second after the center fielder bobbled the ball. He's in safely is Matthew Butler with the first hit of the ball game for the Panthers.
Yeah. Carlos did a good job of dropping down to one knee on that thing, but it took a pretty good hop on him and bounced off his chest. And I like the aggressiveness of Matt getting out of the box and forcing the defense to play defense instead of just letting them be relaxed out there.
So here comes James Butler. James, by the way, and Griffin are brothers.
Yes.
And then the man out at second base right now, Matthew, is their cousin. So it's a Butler affair here for the Wenatchee Panthers with one aboard and two down. And a few oohs and ahs in that first pitch from Whitaker, missing for a ball to James Butler. Catcher for the Wenatchee Panthers.
He's going to Spokane Falls next year to play baseball.
Pitch swung on and fouled back. Evens the count to the ball and a strike to Butler. Coming in, Butler batting .379 on the season so far. I guess you could say, even though you're 9 games in, still early in the season, right? I mean,
but yes and no. Because they're actually 11 games in with the 2 non-leaguers.
Right.
But that's over half our season.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
I guess so. 1-1 the count. Pitch is high and a little inside for ball 2. 2-1 to Mr. Butler.
That's the crazy thing about high school baseball is these batting averages. If a kid has a 3-game slump, call it, their batting average is going to drop for the whole year. Where if somebody in the major leagues has a 3-game slump, no big deal.
Yeah, that's
they got 159 more to go.
I was looking at plate appearances here, and I think it's 30 that tops the club for Griffin Butler in 11 games. That doesn't seem like a lot, but
no.
But you get 10-run games, and suddenly that shortens your opportunity to get to the plate.
That's true.
Pitch swung on and fouled here, and a play for the first baseman. Looks like it does get out of play, so the count will run to full. James Butler, go ahead.
And, if you with walks and everything else, too, walks and hit by pitches, those don't count as plate appearances either. So.
Right.
Yeah, and I think Owen Irvin's got 39 on the year.
Okay. Oh, that's right.
Leading off.
Absolutely. So. Full count to Butler. We'll see what happens with Matthew Butler out there at second base with 2 down in the inning. He doesn't have to go, but he will. And the pitch swung on and hit off the pitcher. Bounces behind second base. Throw to first is offline. Run's going to score. Meanwhile, rounding first and heading for second is Butler. And the Butler exchange collects a run for Wenatchee. They lead at 1-0.
Yeah, that was a great jump by Matt there. I don't know if he had the steal or if he just saw something in Whitaker that he had his timing down that he was going to take that, but very, very advantageous there for the Panthers.
So an E on the throw will allow James to get down to second base. And as you mentioned, Matthew was on the before the pitch even. So he would have scored on that no matter what on the infield single.
Yeah.
So an RBI for James Butler. Brock Toffness now steps up, and the first pitch to him is taken for a strike, and the count 0-1 to Toffness. Brock in the right-handed batter's box here for the Panthers against the righty on the mound, Kason Whitaker. And the pitch on the way is a check swing. He did not go. And I don't see a foul tip called, so the count evens at a ball and a strike.
Yeah, you always like to get help on that, but technically the umpire behind second base really can't see it. So
Toffness is the guy you want at the plate right now with 2 down and a runner in scoring position, batting .458 so far this spring. He'll take that pitch, fastball on the outside corner for a strike. 1-2 the count here on Toffness. So the Panthers up 1-0, and well, we didn't get it on the air, but we did talk with Donnie Lindgren before the ball game, and he said, I just want to keep Wenatchee under 10. This pitch swung on and fisted into right center field. That's going to drop down for a base hit. Rounding third and heading for home will be the runner James Butler, and he will score, making it a 2-0 ball game. Wenatchee on top.
Yeah, like Wenatchee did against Eastmont, they take advantage of your mistakes, and you have one error.
Can't afford to give them extra outs, right?
Extra outs or extra bases even.
Yeah, right. Ryan Rainbolt will now step up for the Panthers. Rainbolt batting .400. Man, they list as a catcher and a third baseman. Pops the first one up foul territory. Long run for the first baseman, and it's going to drop in foul territory. Had a chance, but that's a tough circling move for Jacoby Fulbright out there.
Yeah, right over his shoulder, and there's a little bit of breeze going.
I mean, you watch major leaguers, and rarely do they make that play.
Yeah, that play right there, if anybody's going to make it, it's going to be your second baseman.
Right? Yeah.
That was a long way to run for him. So
0-1 the count to Rainbolt here. So he'll step back in the right-handed batter's box, but then ask for a timeout here from the home plate umpire, Nick Darlington. Okay, then this is not Major League Baseball. There's no pitch count, no pitch clock.
Right.
You can throw over to first base as many times as you wish.
Yep. The visits to the mound are different also.
Pitch swung on, popped up in shallow center field, we'll say, backing up the shortstop. And Harrod is there to make the catch, and that'll be the final out here, but not before Wenatchee gets a couple of runs here in the bottom of the first. We'll head to the second and take a 60-second timeout with Wenatchee on top of Moses Lake. 2-0. You're watching Big 9 Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
At Kennedy Group, we understand that buying and selling is more than a transaction, and it's more than just a house. This is where you will gather with friends and family, and where a lifetime of memories will be made. But buying a home is more than memories. Oftentimes, it's your biggest financial decision. The agents at Kennedy Group understand this and provide real estate advice based on your goals and dreams. Call us today and let's find your happy place.
Welcome back once again to Recreation Park for Big Nine Baseball here today on the NCWLIFE Channel. Our coverage brought to you in part by Abby's Pizza. For more than 50 years, Abby's has proudly served the Northwest with toppings to the edge. 100% real cheese and freshly rolled dough. Order online at abbys.com. Also by Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call 509-662-6842. First pitch here to start the inning. Misses low for a ball. 1-0 the count to Cooper Hancock, the DH for Moses Lake. He'll be followed by Cruz Martinez and Daniel Baez for the Mavericks. Second pitch is a called strike on the outside corner. 1-1 the count here to Hancock to lead it off in the second.
He's got a lot of movement. We were just talking about that. He's got a lot of movement on each of his pitches. That pitch right there got in on Cooper's fist because his fastball is running in really hard to a right-handed pitcher. And then his sweeper that he throws for a slider, newly called a sweeper in the last couple of years, it's got a lot of side-to-side movement on it, too, so very effective.
Referring to Raiden Haynes, the starting pitcher for Wenatchee, who is off to a 4-0 start on the season. And when you approach a three-game series like this, where you play one on Tuesday, you got a doubleheader on Friday.
Yeah.
Do you want your best pitcher to go? You want to get that first win on Tuesday and then worry about Friday when you get there?
You know, that's the way I always thought of it, because you can't win them all unless you win the first. But a lot of coaches have different thoughts. They want to win the game on the first game on Friday because it builds into a doubleheader that you're trying to get the start of the weekend off to a good start. So it depends on who you are as a coach. Like I said, I always went with one of my better pitchers on Tuesday, knowing I'd have somebody else that was more than capable coming back in on Friday.
Cruz Martinez hit the ball well, but on a line right to Nolan Godfrey, who takes a knee and takes the ball right out of the air. So a quick out here. It's also what you like for your good pitchers, is to have some quick innings, too.
Yes.
0-1 the count here to Daniel Baez from Raiden Haynes. This pitch swung on a hit slowly up the third baseline, but that's going to go foul. And a count, a ball and a strike on Baez. We should mention here, if you have not witnessed baseball at Recreation Park here several years ago, they replaced the infield with artificial surface. So the dirt, quote unquote, is artificial, as well as the green here as you see it at home. This pitch misses away for a ball. 2-1 to count. The home fans didn't like that.
No, they did not.
Too much. But of course, you know, partisan fan base here at Recreation Park. This 2-1 pitch is strike three. Actually, that was 2-2. And strike three cold, and gone looking is Baez. And it's a 1-2-3 frame here for Haynes and the Wenatchee defense. We'll take a break, come back, bottom of the second coming up as Wenatchee leads it 2-0 over Moses Lake. You're watching Big Nine Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Highlander Golf Course and Grill, located in East Wenatchee, offers terrific views and challenging play for golfers at every skill level. From the golf course to the grill, you don't need to be a member to dine in style and play golf too. Highlander's well-groomed fairways and greens keep it difficult, yet friendly for your regular rounds of golf or a new destination for you and your out-of-town friends. Contact the Highlander Pro Shop today to schedule your tee time, outing, or tournament. Open 7 days a week, where everyone is welcome to play and eat. Global Car Care has the best customer service in the Valley. From the moment you walk in the door, their goal is to help you stay on the road, so you can keep doing what's important to you. Global Car Care certified ASE mechanics stand behind your automotive repairs.
Just a little hint of a breeze blowing out towards left field here at Recreation Park as Wenatchee leads it 2-0, along with Brandon Schmitten, Eric Granstrom with you on the NCWLIFE Channel. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Apple Valley Honda. Test drive a new Honda today at Apple Valley Honda in East Wenatchee. Apple Valley Honda is committed to preserving the environment, not only with fuel-efficient vehicles, but also with eco-friendly actions and alternatives. That's at Apple Valley Honda. Well, Ryan Bratton, Raiden Haynes, and Griffin Butler will come up here in the bottom of the second, bottom of the order for Coach Skyleman. And the first pitch is a strike called. 0-1 the count. Now, if you're Moses Lake here, Coach, and Case and Whitaker out there, what do you say about that first frame? Forget it? I mean, you didn't get a lot of help defensively in that.
Yeah, he didn't. And, you know, Kaysen's a very strong-headed kid in a positive way. And when I say that, so he's you can have strong-headed be a bad thing.
We've known the other.
Yeah. But he's been in situations like this before, and you know, his dad, one of my good friends, is in the dugout, and a former head coach of Moses Lake, actually. So he's been around baseball a long time, so he knows that every inning's not going to be perfect, and just got to come back out there and continue to throw your stuff and know that you trust your defense behind you.
1-2 pitch swung on a fly ball to deep left field. Running over to his left is Johnny Purcell, and he will range it and make the catch on the run. How about that play? That ball just kept going and going.
That was a great catch by a freshman out there in left field.
Well, and he's also kind of looking into the sun in the direction he was running too.
Yeah.
That is impressive. That's showing some range out there for that left fielder for sure for Moses Lake. So one down for the Panthers, and that'll bring up Raiden Haynes, the pitcher, trying to help his own cause. Steps in the left-handed batter's box.
Kaysen doing a good job here of giving his outfielders time to catch breath.
Yeah, after huffing and puffing out there. Here comes the pitch on the way, swung on, and a slicing ball the opposite way. This has extra bases written all over it, as rounding first and heading for second, and sliding safely at second base is Raiden Haynes. We talked about him helping his own cause. That'll do it.
Yeah, that will. That was a slice right down the line there, wasn't it?
Boy, inside-out swing, just perfectly placed. The third baseman, of course, with a left-handed batter at the plate, was playing off the bag at third, and the Cruz Martinez over there, and I mean, just well-placed and well-positioned.
Yeah, and even if Cruz was guarding line there, I think that's a line drive over his head.
I don't think he's going to get it. Yep.
Yeah. Now, Griffin Butler's got to be one of their better hitters that they have on the team, and this was something that I like to do, is put a guy that isn't necessarily a leadoff guy in the 9-hole, but a guy that is going to continually get on base, and he continually gets on base, has power, and can flat run.
Griffin Butler batting .433 on the season coming in. Takes this pitch for a strike, counts even to him at a ball and a strike. And Butler has not been shy about putting the ball in play. He's got 13 RBI on the season coming into the game here with 11 hits and 13 runs scored too. So he's a guy you want on the base pass too if you're Coach Skyler.
Yeah, 100%. And like I said, he can flat run. And young too. So he's a sophomore, started for him last year and did a really good job, and he's continued to play really well for him this year.
Just barely swung under that fastball from Whitaker, so the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes here on Griffin, with Haynes out there at second base. 1 out, bottom of the second for Wenatchee here at Recreation Park.
You know, people say it's a 1-2 punch, but they've got the 9-1 punch right here with speed and then more speed right after him.
Well, I think that's the concept for the Mariners right now, too, isn't it? With your shortstop batting in the 9-hole, and then you got Julio batting number 1.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been rotating around a little bit, but J.P. Crawford in the 9 spots and Julio Rodriguez as the leadoff man. 2-2 count here to Butler. With a runner in scoring position, pitch on the way, high and inside. Good eye by Butler, and the count runs full at 3-2 to Griffin.
He's been missing up with quite a few of his pitches today. Got to work down in the zone, because a couple of those balls that have been hit really well to the outfield have been balls up in the zone, and they're doing a good job of lifting it. But luckily they've had some good defensive play there.
Boy, a heck of a pitch there from Whitaker. That was right over the plate, little low, and going for it was Butler, and he'll strike out for the second out of the inning. Back to the top of the order for Owen Irvin. Irvin got aboard when he was hit by a pitch on a 2-1 count back in the first inning to lead off the ball game, but then he was immediately picked off by the pitcher Whitaker at first base. So Irvin, well, Wenatchee was able to get a couple of 2-out hits and runs. This bouncing ball to the shortstop, cleaned up there, thrown across.
No, dropped it.
He dropped it. The first baseman, Fulbright, just couldn't gather it in. I thought that would look like a pretty decent throw.
It
didn't skip into it.
No, it didn't. I'd give the error on the first baseman on that. And I was going to say, as that ball was being hit, you can't sit back on Owen Irvin. You've got to come get the ball and get rid of it going forward. If you're sitting back or playing on your heels, he's gonna beat that out, kind of like Ichiro did.
Right. This is Maddox Herod out there at shortstop. And he did, I mean, the ball was struck well, but he did not attack it. But he also had a runner right in front of him, too, with the runner from second, Haynes, going to third on the play.
Yes.
So now, squaring the bunt, faking the bunt, thrown out a second, goes all the way through. Now they got a rundown between first and second base, and diving back to first. They got him out there, so.
Great defensive play right there.
Absolutely. Caught stealing is Owen Irvin for the second time in this game.
Yeah.
And so we will head to the third inning of play. Wenatchee still on top, 2-0 over Moses Lake. You're watching Big Nine Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Hey, hon, would you run this around to the wash rack?
Oh, okay.
Hey, hon, what happened?
They shrunk the truck.
The all-new midsize Canyon is now available at Sangster Motors.
Hi, folks. Welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chase on the other side. You can lift this up.
Great. I want that one. I like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Maddox Herod, Jackson Carlos, and Jacoby Munoz are the batters due up here for Moses Lake in their part of the third inning, the 8, 9, and 1 hitters. As we come to you live from Recreation Park, our broadcast brought to you in part by Biosports Physical Therapy, Aquatherapy, Sports Biomechanics, Orthopedic Physical Therapy, Orthotics, all you need to keep moving. Find them online at biosports.net, open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. First pitch is in there for a strike, and pretty good start here for Raiden Haynes so far there, Coach.
Yeah, a lot of strikes, and down in the zone.
FPS, right?
FPS,
First
yes.
pitch strike. 0-1 to count. This pitch, he'll drop sidearm a little bit, and that misses outside for a ball. Maybe I didn't see that in his past deliveries, but it looked like he kind of went a little sidearm.
Yeah, it did.
The 1-1 pitch swung on and chopped foul.
And he's like I told you, he's getting a lot of movement on his pitches just because of his arm angle. You know, the old adage was get your arm up, and you know, I did that when I was playing, and my arm hurt all the time. Then I got to a comfortable spot, now I think I can. There's that sweeper pitch that we were talking about.
Oh my gosh!
I call it a sweeper because that's what they call it in the big leagues now. But
it's a slider.
Yeah,
for us old school folks,
that's
it's a slider. It moves from side to side and a little up and down.
Yeah,
right. I mean,
well, that one
that was side to side.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's like a frisbee.
So a strikeout, the first down here in the third, brings up Jackson Carlos, his first plate appearance of the ball game. The center fielder for Moses Lake stands in, squares the bunt, and that ball, I think, hit him, in the noggin. Umpire's going to check and make sure he's okay here. As he squared the bunt, and that pitch just went inside. He wasn't leaning out over the plate. He had the bat over the plate. Got to make sure he's okay. And, of course, now the umpires are going to discuss this to see. I don't know. I thought I heard 2 ticks. I thought I heard maybe a foul tip and then the ball hit him in the head.
See, we had a similar situation to this the other night down at West Valley, and we had our catcher, a freshman catcher, was squaring to bunt, pulled back, and the ball hit him right in the jaw.
Ooh, ouch.
And they called foul ball.
Oh my.
Yeah, he was spitting blood out on the field and saying that, hurt, and obviously, and they called it a foul ball, and unfortunately our catcher had to come out for the rest of the game, but the guy came in and did well after him. But
looks like Carlos is going to be okay to stay in the game. But, of course, keeping your head out of the game is part of the challenge here for all sports, in prep and everywhere else, as a matter of fact. And so they're awfully concerned about concussions, and that was the first concern. The second concern was regarding whether or not there was a foul tip or not. And Josh Schuylerman asking if that, in fact, was the case, because, I mean, just the umpires meeting, that means there was a little question there.
Right. Yeah.
But they do call it a hit batsman. So down to first goes Carlos, and back to the top of the order for Jacoby Munoz, who grounded out to third in his first plate appearance. This pitch swung on and hit in the air to right center, and that is going to a diving opportunity for the center fielder, but it's going to fall in for a hit, and they're going to try to wave the run home. Here comes the throw home. It's in time, and they got him. What a relay.
That's a great throw by Nolan Godfrey right there.
Nolan Godfrey got the relay from Griffin Butler, who was backing up on the diving attempt by Owen Irvin out there in center field. And they gunned down the runner at first base, or at home plate.
You know, we talked about speed. I said that ball was down. Owen Irvin almost got to that, right? And he was one of the guys that we were talking about with speed. But then Griffin Butler was right behind him, backing that up, being in a perfect position, not giving up on a play. And then got the throw in immediately, and then Godfrey fielded that kind of with his back to the defense, but there was good communication, so he knew to go to the plate on that, and a perfect throw.
And, for the youngers watching, you do the infield, outfield drills, and you do the infield drills with guys on, and you're in practice and things like that. And why do we do this? That's why you do that.
Yeah.
That's why you practice on hitting the relay and also talking to each other. Who's got the communication out there to make sure Godfrey knows to go home on the play?
Yeah. Yes, communication is huge.
Purcell is up now for Moses Lake, and he's ahead in the count at 2-0. This pitch is across but low for ball 3.
Yeah, and you can practice all day long on situations like that, but unless you do them game speed, it doesn't do you any good.
Absolutely. 3-0 pitch is in there for a strike, and the count goes to 3-1. To Johnny Purcell is 0 for 1. He flew out to center back in the first. So 2 down for Moses Lake here in the inning on a stellar defensive play by Wenatchee on the relay. Runner out at second base is Munoz, and this pitch swung on a fly ball right over the head of the shortstop. So that will score a run, and Moses Lake is going to cut the lead in half as center fielder Owen Irvin bobbling the ball out there allows the runner to move from first to second. So it was an RBI single for Purcell. But then an E on the center fielder lets him move up to second base.
And again, that was because of hustle out of the box. Johnny Purcell was going, making the defense do something, and, he took advantage of a little bit of a bobble.
Noah Hernandez steps up. First pitch to him is in for a strike. And a lot of times, too, you get a base runner like that, and you get a fielder that can see the base runner in their peripheral.
Yep.
And then you think, oh, my gosh, I got to get this ball quick.
I've got to hurry up.
Yep. And just that threat can cause a guy to you take your eye off the ball for just a second. Well, that's all it takes, and then suddenly it's by you.
Yes.
0-1 to count to Hernandez here. This pitch swung on a fly ball to left field, and this is going to be caught by Irvin in left center. And that'll be the final out of the inning, but not before Moses Lake gets a run on a couple of base hits and one man left. We'll head to the bottom of the third. We've got a great game going on here. It's Big 9 baseball. Wenatchee 2, Moses Lake 1. We're back after this on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Tacos Chava has something new. Customers at Tacos Chava say it's the best Mexican food around. Nachos, enchiladas, tortas, ensaladas, and introducing camarones in many styles. You'll love the fresh salsa bar with so much selection. Are you ready for Tacos Chava? Find them at 2 great locations, the Wenatchee Valley Mall and Eniac. Tacos Chava, tan delicioso.
You've got a lot to do today. While you're out and about, remember to dispose of your unused medications safely and anonymously. It's a simple act that makes your home a safer place. Next time you're at the pharmacy, just place them in the drop box. To find a location, visit medproject.org.
Welcome back once again here to Recreation Park, along with Brandon Schmitten, Eric Granstrom with you on the NCWLIFE Channel. Our broadcast today brought to you by Coldwell Banker Cascade Real Estate. Call Coldwell Banker Cascade Real Estate for all your real estate needs in Central Washington at 509-888-8887. That's 509-888-8887. Nolan Godfrey leads it off here in the bottom of the third for Wenatchee. He swings at the first pitch and lifts it in the air to deep left center field, and this is going to be extra bases. Rounding first, heading for second. Godfrey looked like he was going to pedal down. Now he'll pick it back up and head into third base with a stand-up triple to lead it off here in the third for the Panthers.
Nothing like following up a good play with a great at-bat, right? He had the great throw to the plate to take away a run, and then gets the triple to lead off the inning.
Ball just seems to be carrying a little. I mean, there's a little bit of a breeze out to left, but I don't think that influenced that ball. Just carrying on probably our warmest day of the year so far.
Yeah,
71, 72 degrees, something like that, as Matthew Butler stands up. He's 1 for 1 with a base hit and scored Wenatchee's first run back of the first inning. And the pitch here, he's a little outside for a ball. 1-0 the count to Matthew Butler as the Panthers look to stay unblemished in Big Nine play and improve to 10-0 in the Big Nine on the season. Pitch on the way, swung on at a fly ball, but hit foul and out of play on the first base side. The count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. And you got a leadoff runner with a triple at third base.
Mm-hmm.
That's that run you just gave up that you could get back. Of course, fly ball makes that happen.
Right.
But do you tell your guy at the plate, do you put that in his head to try to swing for a fly ball to get a sacrifice? Or?
So I was just going to mention something. You can see here where Moses Lake, their infielders are playing back. So they're going to give up the run if it's a ground ball. So the one thing that Coach Hoff does a lot is he likes scoring ground balls. So you get a runner on third base and you hit a scoring ground ball. He calls it a scoring jeeb. And so in this situation right here, you're looking for a pitch that you can hit a ground ball on. Now, if the infield comes up, that's when you're going to be looking to hit a fly ball because you'll score a run for sure on that.
Matthew Butler swings and misses on a pitch way out of the strike zone for strike 3, so he's gone. 1 out in the inning brings up James Butler, who is 1 for 1 with a base hit and an RBI to drive in Matthew back in the first. He eventually came around to score on the RBI single by Brock Toffness. So the first baseman almost in on the edge of the grass here. And don't put it by Wenatchee not to bunt here with a runner at third base.
Yeah. Now, I don't know that they're going to do it with James, but Brock, I could see
hitting 379.
Yeah. And Brock's been hitting the ball great too, but he has really good back control when it comes to bunting.
Sure. The 1-0 pitch on the way, swung on and missed. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. After giving up the leadoff triple, Case and Whitaker settling in here. And that pitch that was the triple, you talked about it. If he's missing over, he's missing a little high, and the Panthers have been able to put it in play here. Here's another pitch that swung on.
Run.
Fly ball to left field, right to Purcell. Runner from third tags and no throw home. And another run's going to score. The Panthers increase their lead to 3-1.
Great job by James Butler right there. To get yourself, like you said, get yourself a run right there. So, going down in the scorebook, that goes as a sacrifice, so it doesn't hurt the batting average whatsoever.
So a sacrifice fly to left field for James Butler brings in Wenatchee's third run, and they get that run that they gave up in the top half of the inning right back, and that'll bring up Brock Toffness with nobody on the base paths and 2 down here for Wenatchee.
Brock's got a little bit of a wiggle when he gets in there in the batter's box.
gets that left foot dancing, and this curveball, beautiful curveball in there for a strike. Off-speed pitch by Whitaker. Toughness with that base hit opposite way to right center for the RBI back in the first. So he's 1 for 1. The 0-1 pitch bounces in for a ball. So there's some folks that are maybe watching and listening and hearing me on the broadcast here this spring and wondering, where the heck you been? It's been interesting. This pitch swung on a hit hard but foul down the right field line, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. I've dealt with some blindness. I mean, not complete blindness, but some very blurriness with some bleeding retinas. Don't know what exactly caused it, but it has cost me my vision. And so up until today, there was no chance of me coming out to the ball game and being able to see a ball. Pitch swung on and popped up here into shallow right field. Calling for it is the right fielder. He'll make the catch for the out, and that'll do it here for Wenatchee. But they do get a run on a hit, and nobody left. We will head to the 4th inning of play, scheduled for 7. It's Wenatchee 3, Moses Lake 1. You're watching Big 9 Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Your piece of land demands the very best equipment. Kubota equipment. The #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. with professional-grade mowers, versatile sidekick utility vehicles, and compact tractors that get it done right. All backed by unmatched dealer support. Talk to your dealer today to schedule a demo.
Apple Valley Honda is bringing the future of driving to you. Introducing the all-new, all-electric Honda Prologue EV. Say goodbye to gas stations and hello to a whisper-quiet ride and zero emissions. The wait is over. Finally, a local option for a quality EV from a brand with a track record of exceptional quality and reliability. Experience the Honda Prologue EV for yourself at family-owned Apple Valley Honda. Stay close to home and visit us at Apple Valley Honda today for the life you live.
3-1 ball game as we head to the top of the 4th inning. Jacoby Fulbright, Cooper Hancock, and Cruz Martinez due up here for Moses Lake as they trail the Wenatchee Panthers. Lefty against the righty, and the pitch on the way is low and inside for a ball. 1-0 the count as Raiden Haynes continues to work here in the 4th for the Panthers. Haynes set at the waist, and the pitch on the way misses way outside for a ball. 2-0 the count. Haynes always working from the stretch, even though there's nobody on the base paths.
Yeah, he's got a definitely closed stance here, doesn't he?
Comes across his body, kind of a whip action with the arm. This pitch bounding to the second baseman, and an easy play over there to his left for Godfrey. That's by far his easiest play of the game so far.
Yes, for sure.
Nolan Godfrey with a triple today, and also just a stellar relay home to nab a runner at the plate. So 1 down here for Moses Lake brings up Cooper Hancock, the DH. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out to short. Pitch in for a strike. 0-1 to count to Hancock. Cooper Hancock, that's a good baseball name.
It is a good baseball name. He's a nice kid, too. He'll be throwing on Friday.
Hancock with the next pitch to him, and boy, a strike call.
Yeah, that was looked
a little outside-ish.
Yeah.
Ish.
That's
a new thing in vocabularies around the world these days. Add ish to anything.
And it sounds
nice. I guess, ish.
Now, did you get the memo that we're supposed to call the people in the crowd tonight patrons, not fans?
Yes.
We're at the Masters.
At the Masters. Did you see that minor league baseball game that was called like the Masters? This pitch grounded on the shortstop. Little bumble out there, but straightening up. Matt Butler throws in time for the out. 6-3 on the putout. Yeah, it was pretty good. They played the music, the Masters music from CBS, and then the guy came in and he says, "Welcome back. We are in the 4th." It totally golf announced that whole thing. It was pretty fun. Cruz Martinez steps up with 2 down here. A couple of ground balls to the infield. Pitch on the way. Misses outside for a ball. 1-0 the count. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Global Car Care. Your vehicle is their #1 priority. Diesels and European cars are their specialty. Pick up and drop off available too. Stop by the website, globalcarcare.net. This pitch grounded to the shortstop. This time cleanly fielded by Butler. Throw across in time, and nice clean inning defensively for the Wenatchee infield. As it's a 1-2-3 frame for Moses Lake. To the bottom of the 4th we go. 3-1 Wenatchee on top of the Mavericks. You're watching Big 9 Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
There's no place like home. Because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories. And we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier. Total comfort. Totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air. Call Alpine Air.
Well, looks like our surgery patient is feeling better today.
Yep, I didn't need any oxy today. I thought I'd do a little surgery on the drain.
Huh. Do you need your pain pills anymore?
No.
Well, we should get them out of the house. There are places to drop them off.
Yeah, okay. Actually, I can do that right now.
And I will look at the drain.
Prevent opioid misuse. Find safe medication return options near you at med-project.org.
You're watching Big 9 Baseball this afternoon here on the NCWLIFE Channel. Along with Brandon Schmitten, Eric Granstrom with you. 3-1 our score as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Ryan Rainbolt, Ryan Bratton, and Raiden Haynes due up for the Panthers as they lead it here. And the barrel-chested Ryan Rainbolt steps into the right-handed batter's box, and the first pitch to him is swung on and fouled away and out of play on the first base side. 0-1 the count. Rainbolt 0 for 1 with a pop out to the shortstop in the first. Rainbolt back in. Boy, he's not shy about getting close to that plate, is he?
No, he's not.
Pitch on the way. Swung on a fly ball to left center. Both the outfielders racing towards it, and it's going to go off the center fielder's glove, trickle all the way back to the warning track. So into second base goes Rainbolt, and that ball tailing away from Carlos out there in center field. I got to give him a hit for that.
I was just going to say I'm going to give him a double on that one. And again, that ball is carrying more than what we would imagine for tonight.
It is.
Now, the depth of the outfielders I don't think is exceptionally close, but they're running back on a lot of balls right now. So
and give Wenatchee credit. I mean, they're hitting the gaps.
Right.
Right.
But I might make an adjustment and get them a little bit deeper here.
Sure. Ryan Brandon steps up. First, though, we're going to have a visit to the mound, and Brandon was mentioning that we do have another pitcher warming up for Moses Lake here. I think maybe a change of the signals between catcher and pitcher.
Yeah.
Again, this is not Major League Baseball. They don't have the pitch comm in high school baseball.
We actually can now.
You can.
You can use it.
If you have the money to facilitate it.
And now that's going directly from coach to catcher. Not coach to catcher to pitcher.
Okay.
So.
All right. Because the coaches are so much more involved. I mean, all levels of baseball and calling every single pitch. 0-1 the count here to Rainbolt. Ryan back in. The pitch to him. Swung on a miss. He was out in front of that pitch from Whitaker. And the count now 0-2 to Bratton. Rainbolt out there at second base. Not a threat to be stealing third.
No.
I resemble that remark because, I was not fleet of foot. I moved my feet really quickly, but they were in one spot.
Quicksand.
0-2. Count to Bratton. Pitch is a curveball just missing outside. Boy, that was a close pitch, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes to Ryan Bratton. Ryan is 0 for 1 with a fly out to left in the second. Wenatchee up 3-1. Appreciate you joining us here on the NCWLIFE Channel, your local TV station.
You look at Ryan Branham and compare him to Owen Irvin in the outfield, and I look at those two guys and I think, man, which one's which from afar?
Yeah.
They are awful close looking.
Pitch on the way here is, I guess, high. Ryan back in and ready. I said Brannon. I should say Branham. Sorry about that. So Branham is in there. Has fought the count even at 2-2. Pitch swung on and missed here, and he is gone on the strikeout. Boy, there have been some sticky situations for Kason Whitaker in this game, and he's been able to kind of work through.
He definitely has. Yeah, I was talking about the mental toughness by him earlier, and yeah, he's been in situations like this many a times, so doesn't surprise me. I mean, it's good to see for him, but it doesn't surprise me that he's able to stay as calm, cool, and collected as he has.
Braden Haynes with a fly ball to left field. He last time doubled down the left field line, and so the Johnny Purcell out there in left was better suited this time, but his throw in the infield goes sailing, and down to third on the play goes Rainbow.
Now, I hate to say it, but I was looking down writing some notes when that throw came in. I don't know if he was trying to...
He threw it towards second, and it just sailed on it.
What was he trying to pick Rainbolt off there?
I don't know why. Rainbolt wasn't very far off the bag.
Yeah, so in that situation, the throw's just got to come into the shortstop who's lined up towards third base, right?
Yes.
Or the pitcher should be over here in a line, so you got 3 people that you'd have to get it by to advance a runner.
Griffin Butler, a hefty swing on the first pitch to him that was off speed. 0-1 to count to Griffin, who is 0 for 1 with a strikeout back in the second. Runner at third base for Wenatchee trying to add to their lead here, which is standing at 3-1 over Moses Lake. Pitch on the way is swung on and fouled away, and the count quickly 0-2 on Butler. This would be another magical performance here by Whitaker if he can get out of this inning after a leadoff double.
Yeah, this is a huge pitch right here for him. See if he can get him chasing something down and away, as what my assumption would be.
Butler
here.
struck out in his last plate appearance on a full count pitch. This pitch swung on and missed, and ball got away from the catcher for a moment, but he'll throw down to first base. So K2-3 on the out, and how about the job by Whitaker right there?
Yeah, and by their catcher, Baez.
Absolutely, to keep that ball right in front of him. We'll take a break and come back. We're heading to the 5th frame as it's a 3-1 ball game. Wenatchee on top of Moses Lake. It's Big 9 baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
When you buy tires at Les Schwab, you're getting more than just tires. You're getting America's best tire warranty, 60-day satisfaction guarantee, no hassle road hazard protection, and free maintenance for the life of your tires. So if something happens to your tire on the road, we'll fix it, or we'll replace it, no questions asked. Other places make you pay extra for that kind of protection, but at Les Schwab, it's included with every set of tires, because more warranty means less worry, and nobody stands by their tires like Les Schwab. Get more from less.
When you enjoy Abby's Pizza at your place, close your eyes and you can taste old-fashioned values, classic pizza parlor decor, and generations of tradition. Recreate that magic. Open your eyes and head to abbys.com. With pickup and delivery options, no matter where you dine, Abby's just tastes better. This is Skinny, and he helped found Abby's 60 years ago. In honor of Skinny, we're putting his favorite pizza on sale. Savory pizza sauce, Canadian bacon piled to the edge, and juicy tomatoes make this a very special pizza. Order your Skinny special right now at abbys.com.
Bottom part of the order due up here for Moses Lake: Daniel Baez, Maddox Herod, and Jackson Carlos. Along with Brandon Schmitten, Eric Granstrom with you. That's a lot of names in a short amount of time. On the NCWLIFE Channel, 3-1 our score. Wenatchee on top. A good game going on so far. Yeah, there's been some gaffes, but nice close ball game. And the first pitch here from Braden Haynes on the way to Daniel Baez is swung on and fouled back and heading towards my parked car, which is in the wrong spot, which might be towed right now. I honestly forgot about it until right now. I'm going to have to get a hold of Tim and have him move that because I really don't need to have my car towed.
Oh.
Strike.
That was ball like one
okay,
of that pitch right there was kind of like one of those old fables that said, yeah, it went from behind his back and came across.
0-2 pitch swung on and missed, and a strikeout. First out of the inning. Let me do a little maintenance here. See where our radio went to. Oh, how about it's right in front of me. Tim, this is Eric. Could you move my car? Come get my keys, please. Thank you. That's a little two-way radio work going on there. Apologies for doing that on the air, but Yeah, we got here to unload, and we're having to use our own vehicles now because our van has officially died.
Oh, no.
And so anyway, had the car parked right in front of the ballpark in the yellow zone. Ground ball back to the pitcher. Good job of fielding it by Haynes, and he'll throw in time for the out.
You know, looking at the scoreboard up there, Moses Lake's gotten 1 hit, and honestly, I think it should be 2 hits, but honestly, they haven't hit the ball hard, but a couple times. And that's going back to what we were talking about with Raiden and how much movement he has on his ball right now.
Pitch swung on, and this is definitely a base hit straight away center field. So a 2-out single to center by Jackson Carlos. And back to the top of the order here for Moses Lake for Jacoby Munoz. Yeah, I've got him for 2 hits before that.
Yes.
Now 3 in the ball game. I had him for back-to-back hits by Munoz and Purcell back in the 3rd.
Yes, yep, the double and then this followed up by the single.
Yep.
Yeah.
So back to the top of the order for Munoz, who I've got him now 1 for 2 in the ball game. Ground out to 3rd in the 1st, and a double and a run scored in the 3rd. And he'll take the first pitch here for a ball. 1-0 the count.
So this goes back to hitting. Being a hitter here, you've really got to focus on keeping your hands inside the ball, because if you try and reach out for that pitch that's the slider, then he's going to come back in with the fastball that's going to get on your hands, and you won't be able to do anything with it.
Little run and hit there as the runner from first was going. Jackson Carlos had second base easy, but swinging and fouling the ball into the netting was Munoz. So the runner will have to go back. Sorry about that. I totally forgot about it back there. So Tim, thankfully, Bronowski, our production assistant, doing a little more duties here of valet. Pitch here swung on and looped foul. It's a good idea, hitting behind the runner over there at first base.
Well, 2 strikes, I think he's doing anything to keep from striking out looking on him.
So Munoz will get back in the right-handed batter's box with a runner at first. Munoz actually represents the tying run for Moses Lake here in the top half of the 5th inning. And we got timeout taken by the man at the plate.
It's odd to see. You don't see this very often, but they have freshmen leading off and freshmen batting too.
Yeah, isn't that something?
Yeah.
Runner from first goes. The pitch is outside. The throw down to second base, not in time. So a stolen base on a ball outside.
Jackson Carlos has some pretty good speed out there at second base right now. Gets him in a good spot for any ball in the outfield he should be able to score on. Any ball that hits grass, obviously.
Back in tight is Munoz with his right toe on the inside line of the batter's box. Pitch here misses outside. Home fans wanted strike 3.
That missed outside by a lot more than what they were thinking.
Again with that sweeper.
But a great pitch there, because he starts that on the outside part of the plate, and it has so much movement that you're not going to be effective swinging at that.
Little gamesmanship going on here between Munoz. You mentioned the freshman and the pitcher out on the mound here, Haynes for Wenatchee. Pitch on the way. Swung on and a fly ball over the shortstop's head and running around third and heading for home. The run is going to score on an RBI single by Munoz, and it's a 1-run game, 3-2. Moses Lake trailing now.
Great at bat right there. He had a couple foul balls when he had 2 strikes on him, and then did a good job, like I told you earlier, too, keeping his hands inside the ball and driving that to the outfield for a line drive.
Johnny Purcell will now step up. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game with a base hit, an RBI, and a fly out to center.
He's hit the ball hard twice.
Pitch on the way to him is a strike on the outside corner. 0-1 the count to Purcell. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Harvest Valley Pest Control. Living healthy, local, and pest-free. You can rest assured Harvest Valley Pest Control uses kid and pet-safe material around your home or office. Call Harvest Valley Pest Control for your free estimate at 509-423-2207. That's 509-423-2207. Second pitch misses for a ball. Evens the count to Purcell at 1-1. Pitch on the way. Swung on and hit to the right side, but foul.
That must be a young coach over at first base, because the older you get,
that ball.
the older you get,
get out of the
more
way.
you realize. Just move.
Nope. Yep. I don't need to impress anybody in the stands. 1-2 the count to Purcell. Pitch on the way, swung on and chopped slowly up the first base side, and it's going to go foul. Almost a swinging bunt there by Purcell. They had the anniversary of that game in the Kingdome way back in the day when, I'm trying to remember the third baseman for the Mariners.
When he was blowing on the ball?
When he blew the ball foul up the third base side. And, of course, the umpires awarded first base to the batter.
Yeah.
Saying, no, you can't do that.
Wonder what the conversation is here.
I'm not sure. Donnie Lindgren wants to talk to the batter, Purcell. Meanwhile, just crouched out on the mound is Haynes, just waiting. 1-2 the count to Purcell. With a runner at first base, and Munoz got some pretty good speed out there. The runner will hold. The pitch swung on a grounded through the right side for a base hit. It's going to die in the grass out there, but Munoz is going to hold up at second base. So back-to-back base hits for the Mavericks. Yeah.
You know, Raden's doing a very good job. He's almost getting a little bit quick on his delivery here. You know, you could see possibly a balk being called here because he's not coming set
fully.
Yeah.
So Noah Hernandez steps up. He got a board in the first on an error and then flew out to center in the third. The first pitch here is in for a strike. There you go with that first pitch strike you want, Coach. Thank you, Tim.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. I'm glad it was still there. Oh, my gosh. 0-1 the count to Hernandez. Thank goodness Tim Bernowski is here. Save the bacon on the car. This pitch swung on, popped up to the first baseman. Calling for it is Toughness. He'll make the catch for the outs, and the inning finally comes to an end. But Moses Lake does a good job of getting back. They trail it by 1 as we head to the bottom of the fifth inning. It's a 3-2 ball game. You're watching Big Nine Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
A few sponsors I'd like to thank.
NCWLIFE Channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCWLIFE would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
To name yourself after the highest peak in North America? Maybe that's audacity. But towering above is exactly what the first ever all-electric GMC Sierra EV Denali Edition 1 is built to do. With 754 horsepower and up to a GM estimated 400 miles of range, it is the Denali of EVs. The Sierra EV Denali.
We get a new pitcher on the mound here for Moses Lake as it's Dagan Inquist who will take over. A sophomore now on the mound. Right-hander will give in relief here to Kason Whitaker, who goes 4 innings. Allowed the 3 runs on 5 hits for the Wenatchee Panthers offensively. Whitaker ends up with, how many strikeouts do we have here, Brandon? I got 2, 3, 4.
2, 3, 4. Yep.
Yeah, 4 strikeouts. So decent outing for the youngster Whitaker. And he will be relieved here, and it's the top of the order for Wenatchee. So Owen Irvin, Nolan Godfrey, and Matthew Butler do up here for the Panthers to face Inkvist. And that's my apologies for not having numbers on Moses Lake, but apparently nobody but Moses Lake has numbers on Moses Lake because they don't share.
No, they don't. I even asked one of their coaches, and he goes, I don't even have access to them.
So Owen Irvin steps up. He's been aboard a couple of times, but also been erased a couple of times, caught stealing.
Yeah.
First pitch by Inquist on the way as he squares to bunt. Look out. It hit him in the foot. Second time in the game that Owen Irvin has been hit by a pitch.
Not how you want to start off.
No.
Close game, sophomore, come out, throw a strike, make something happen. Now he's got somebody that's a definite threat on the bases here, so we'll see how they handle this.
Number 2, Nolan Gunn.
Now, Owen Irvin, by the way, he's been erased twice by caught stealing situations. One was a pickoff, one was a steal attempt out at second base, thrown out. Scoring to bunt, meanwhile, is Nolan Godfrey. Owen Irvin leads the state with 16 stolen bases.
Yeah. He had 6 in the last series.
He's one to go.
Yeah. Oh.
A bunt right in front of the plate, right back to the pitcher. He'll throw to second base, and it's not in time. That's
right
speed.
there.
Owen Irvin off on the... Well, he was almost going before the pitch, wasn't he?
Well,
it was close.
Okay, so the first baseman, it appeared to me right there that like they were trying to run a pick play because Jacoby at first base came off the bag and then retreated back to the bag as if they were going to try and run a pickoff play there, but then they ended up throwing it. And yeah, Owen seeing that down, speed like we talked about.
Matthew Butler now steps up.
Now, I wouldn't be too shocked here if they continue doing what they're doing. If the third baseman's vacating here, I wouldn't be surprised to see Owen take third base on
just
this
a straight
play.
steal?
Straight steal on it, yeah.
So that Godfrey aboard on a fielder's choice in that case, right? Where the catcher comes out and throws to second base?
Yeah.
Or actually, the pitcher came off the mound and fielded the ball and threw to second
so
base.
So that's going to be called a sack.
Okay,
fielder's
will
choice.
still be a sack fielder's choice. Okay.
Because you want to make sure in that situation to not punish
DQ the batter.
Right.
So
a sacrifice makes it so it doesn't look as a plate appearance.
So Donnie Lindgren out with a quick talk to his infielders here, probably about that very issue that you're thinking of.
Yeah.
With a runner from second, and maybe kind of a double steal where he goes on his own, and then in the meantime, while you're taking care of the runner at third base, runner from first, Godfrey goes down to second.
Okay, so again,
little shift on the infield. Third baseman came in, shortstop goes over to third, second baseman covers second.
Okay, so on that play right there, that's called the wheel play. So right there, either the pitcher has got to throw it on movement of the shortstop, or they're going to run a pick play with the second baseman there. So
pitch on the way is a strike called to Matthew Butler, 0-1 to count to Butler.
So just being an observer of that, I think there was 2 pick plays that were not caught by the pitcher there.
Gotcha. Well, and like you say, a sophomore on the mound, so that puts the pressure not only on his ability to throw, but his ability between the ears.
Yes.
0-1 to count to Butler. He'll swing, kind of a check swing, almost like a punch swing. Misses it, and now he's behind at a count at 0-2. He struck out in his last plate appearance. He's 1 for 2 on the day with a base hit and a run scored.
Interesting decision there not to have him bunt. But Coach Skyleman knows his players better than what we do, so maybe he has more confidence on him swinging it.
Pitch on the way, bounces in. Nice job by the catcher, Baez, to keep that ball from allowing the runners to move up another 90 feet.
He's doing a good job behind the plate today.
1-2 the count to Matthew Butler. Back in the right-handed batter's box in a 3-2 ball game. Wenatchee trying to counter after giving up a run in the top half of this inning. Runners go. The pitch swung on a miss. The throw down to second base is in. No, not in time. Thought he got him out at the bag, but in underneath the legs of the third baseman, Martinez, was Irvin. So everybody's safe around the horn. Meanwhile, out swinging is Butler.
Yeah, that was a close bang play down there, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
And again, Owen Irvin, speed right there. Now as we're seeing right here, we talked about that earlier. Do you hit a ground ball or fly ball? Now you have to look for a fly ball, which is James' natural swing. He's going to swing in the more upward position.
The umpire says they're going to go ahead and just give first base to Matthew Butler, or to James Butler. And so a intentional pass given to Butler loads the bases here.
Yeah.
For Brock Toffness.
And Brock's been hitting the ball really well this year. So
Toffness batting .458 coming into the game today, and he's 1 for 2 with another RBI to his credit today. So that gives him 9 on the season and a chance to pick up some big ones here if he can hit safely. Infield in on the corners with the bases jammed. Pitch on the way. Curveball misses just outside for ball 1. 1-0 the count to Brock Toughness.
First baseman, number 11, Brock Toughness.
Toughness, you talk about that little shimmy he's got at the plate.
Yeah.
Back there again with all the confidence in the world. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Misses outside, goes all the way to the backstop. Runner from third. Breaks for home. Throw home. Not in time. Wenatchee extends their lead to 4-2.
Good read by Owen Irvin there. Reading ball in dirt and seeing that thing bounce away and continue to go.
So Irvin scores on a wild pitch and everybody moves up.
And like I said, great job by the back door runners on that, like you had talked about earlier.
Absolutely.
Getting the double steal going.
Get that opportunity.
Balls,
go.
Everybody there.
2-0 the count. Pitch on the way is a strike on the inside corner. The count goes to 2-1. And Wenatchee has shown, unfortunately for your team, what happened in the 3-game series earlier this season. But Wenatchee has shown you give them a gap and suddenly they can blow the game into a 10-run game just like that.
They can. They're doing a really good job of swinging the bat this year and taking advantage of mistakes that other teams are making. And we look up on the scoreboard there, we see 5 errors by Moses Lake, and they've taken advantage of every single one of them.
Infield drawn in, trying to keep the run from scoring with runners at second and third and 1 out in the inning. And a 2-strike count here, 2-2 to Butler. This pitch misses away for ball 3.
You know, the only thing
Excuse me, to Toughness. Now, with a guy like Toughness at the plate, you just give him first right now on a 3-2 count? Boy,
if I was going to do it, I would have done it before it's full.
True. That's true.
Because the runner shouldn't be running on this, right?
No. Pitch on the way, swung on a hit to the third baseman. He'll smother the ball,
play.
throw hold, bounce the ball in. But a great job by Baez on a bouncing ball to him to squeeze it and tag, and the out at home plate.
Yeah, good job by Cruz receiving that ball and just tried to be a little bit quick. And but again, great job by Baez here to receive the throw and come back and make the play. Now, does that happen on something other than artificial turf? Right?
Yeah, right.
What an advantage to have this here.
Exactly. Martinez, by the way, great play at third base to smother that ball as he was playing up. And that ball came to him quickly. His throw was, as we said, it bounced in, but it was right on line.
It was, yes.
So Ryan Rainbolt will step up here for Wenatchee with 2 down in the inning. 1 run is in, and if Moses Lake can keep the Panthers to just 1 run here, another great job by the Mavericks. Rainbolt with a double. He's 1 for 2.
You know, the runner on second base should have been on third on that too.
Absolutely, with a throw home.
Yeah.
Pitch on the way to the plate, misses outside for a ball. You know, I figured out where the scoreboard reads differently than what we've got as far as a base hit. That double that we gave to Rainbolt may have been because it was an error on the left fielder after the play, right? I'm trying to remember now.
That was the one that was running away from the center fielder.
Oh, that's right.
That's right.
The glove. That's right. Okay.
Yeah, I think we'd definitely give that a hit.
Yeah.
That was a tough play.
1-0 the count to the big fella here. Pitch on the way, swung on a chop slowly to the third baseman. He'll just go to the bag himself, and that'll do it for Wenatchee here in the inning. But they do get a run on, well, not the benefit of a hit. How about that? We will take a break and come back, head to the 6th inning of play. Wenatchee on top 4-2. You're watching Big 9 Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether, we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
The agents of Kennedy Real Estate Group are committed to providing the ideal client experience.
We believe in the power of relationships. Why? Because we don't just work here, we live here. From the nonprofits we serve, the parks where we play, and the local businesses we support, our team understands the value of living in the Wenatchee Valley. Let's begin your real estate story.
Jacoby Fulbright, Cooper Hancock, and Cruz Martinez due up here in the 6th inning for Moses Lake as they trail it now 4-2. Along with Brandon Schmitten, Eric Granstrom on the NCWLIFE Channel. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Highlander Golf Course and Grill. Plan your next tournament and event today. Call the Pro Shop and schedule your time on their full swing S4 widescreen golf simulators. Or heck, just go play golf. 509-884-4653. That's 509-884-4653. They got great food, by the way, at Highlander as well. So if you just want to stop by and have dinner, it's a good spot.
Beautiful view up there.
Oh, yeah. I always say when I'm playing golf out there, it's distractingly beautiful.
Yeah.
Pitch on the way to the plate, swung on a fly ball to right field. Is going to drop down for a base hit. So a leadoff single here for Jacoby Fulbright.
See if they bring out a runner here for him. About this time of the game, they'll start putting in some pinch runners, just get a little
some
bit
speed and put some pressure on.
I guess not, though.
Cooper Hancock is due up next year, the DH. By the way, Raiden Haynes still on the mound here for Wenatchee. Pitch on the way. He is missing away for ball one. 1-0 the count. And, well, they can warm up down in the clubhouse here. So I don't know if Wenatchee...
No, actually, they do it on the outside.
Oh, they
mounds.
do? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And here we go. We got a pinch runner.
16 for 42, they tell us.
We got Adrian Martinez.
Little pinch run. And we'll see if
very fast
he goes in the game as a defensive player as well.
He's got a good lead over there at first base.
So now Haynes has to pay attention to Martinez. Pitch on the way to the plate, swung on and fouled away. Count evens to Hancock at 1 ball and 1 strike. Years ago when I was doing Moses Lake baseball game against Eastmont, it was before you were involved. In fact, you may have been a head coach at the time at Eastmont High School. A pitch on the way here, bunted right back in front of the plate. The pitcher off the mound will field and throw, and a nice sacrifice bunt there by Hancock. One, 3 on the put out. Down to second goes Martinez. 1 out here in the 6th brings up the third baseman Cruz Martinez. Well, that's the schedule anyway.
There's the third baseman, number 12, Cruz Martinez.
Okay. But doing a broadcast for with Moses Lake at Eastmont.
He's got to wear that pitch right there.
Yeah, absolutely. With first base open.
Yeah, puts a tying run on first base.
But Moses Lake was using plays on their wrists and all of that. And I'd never seen that before in high school baseball.
Yeah, the first person I saw do that was Jeff Carlson at Kashmir.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, very, very successful coach there. I never liked it.
I mean, you just say number 1 or number 2, and then everybody is on the same page. Everybody
they
knows.
Don't say that, though. They say
they
like
don't?
401, and then they have to look at their cards, and there's 1,000 numbers on there. And so
I thought it was simple.
No.
Pitch on the way here is low.
It is a grid, but all of the numbers are going to be a different color. So if it's 401, that might be, say,
blue.
Gray. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
call it blue.
Right.
And blue is hit and run for the day.
Oh, okay.
And if it was a green one, it might be nothing.
I see.
Ooh.
1 out walk given up here to Martinez. So runners at first and second. Tying run aboard and brings up Daniel Baez.
And as you said, there's nobody up in the bullpen, which means that they either have ultimate faith in Haynes or they're going to be bringing somebody in from the...
and he may have been just kind of playing coy and careful with Cruz Martinez. Here Daniel Baez steps up. He struck out twice so far in the game.
Yeah, But you'd never want to put the tying run on, right?
That's true. 0-1 the count here on the first pitch that settles in for a strike. According to our home plate umpire, Nick Darlington, Dan Kulig out there on the base pass today. 0-1 the count. Pitch misses away for a ball. 1-1. After he did cruise through a few innings with few pitches, but he's got to be getting up there.
I agree
as we're
with you
in
on
the
that.
top half of the sixth inning. 2 on, 1 out. 1-1 to count to Daniel Baez. Struck out looking in the second to end the inning, and then struck out swinging on 3 pitches in the fifth. 1-1 pitch here is a slider in there for a strike, and it counts a ball and 2 strikes. You know, and with such a good slider, I don't think there's a lot of high school umpires that are used to seeing a ball break that much. So it's a little bit difficult for the umpire to, be able to pick that up all the time.
Yeah. Good job by James Butler on that.
Yeah, absolutely. That ball skipped in, and with speed out there at second base, and Martinez able to keep him out there at second. 1 out, 2 aboard. Pitch on the way, swung on a grounder to the shortstop. Double play chance. Flip to second for 1. The relay to first is in time, and that will retire the side. Here in the 6th, Moses Lake gets a couple aboard, and 1 man left. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Wenatchee on top, 4-2. You're watching Big 9 baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect. No matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier. Total comfort. Totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air. Call Alpine Air.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
7, 8, and 9 hitters due up for Wenatchee here in the bottom of the 6th inning, and leading it 4-2 over Moses Lake. Appreciate you joining us on the NCWLIFE Channel. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Kennedy Real Estate Group. They're more than selling houses, they're building communities. Buying or selling? Call Kennedy Real Estate Group online at kennedygroup.com. That's K-E-N-A-D-Y group.com. Also by Les Schwab. Having the right set of tires and wheels on your vehicle is just part of essential safety. Les Schwab takes your safety seriously. Stop by today. And by Sangster Motors, family-owned and operated, home of the all-new electric Hummer pickup and SUV.
You know, funny thing that we were talking about that pitch comm earlier today, and I was just checking my phone in between innings, and my son Camden said, "Hey, Dad, speaking of the pitch comm," so he's watching the game.
Oh,
Attaboy,
okay.
Cam.
Yeah.
He said, "Speaking of pitch comm, we're using it the rest of the year."
Oh, no
So,
kidding.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
you got it in the dugout now.
Yeah.
All right. This pitch swung on and a fly ball, sky high, left field, long run, and almost overrunning it is left fielder Purcell. But he's able to make the catch for the out. It's been kind of an adventure on the left side of the outfield here today.
It has. There's been some balls that have been traveling, and that one, it appeared like he misread that a little bit too. Obviously well enough to catch it, but thought it was going to be a little shorter than what it was.
Did you happen to see if Aiden Martinez stayed in the ballgame defensively here for Moses Lake? I'm going to have to check.
Adrian, no, he didn't. No, he didn't, because that was our first base, or the first baseman, not our first baseman.
Swing and a miss here
the
by
first baseman there, Jacoby
Haynes.
So
somebody's going to have to come out, right?
Well, Jacoby Fulbright came back in.
Oh,
so
okay.
in high school, you
Pitch,
can re-enter.
Look out. Line drive off the keister of the pitcher. And I'm sure that he's thankful for that. Inquist could have gotten taken out there. Base hits up the middle by Haynes. That'll bring up Griffin Butler. I'll tell you, Braden Haynes has pitched well, and he's hit well today, too.
Yeah, double and a single. Thomas Ivy came in to run for him.
Okay, so that'll probably be the end of the day for him on the mound.
No, because so
pitcher
there's-
you can
courtesy runner.
Courtesy
Yeah.
runner. Okay.
Yeah.
So Ivy out at first base. Griffin Butler is at the plate. Wenatchee trying to extend its lead here. Pitch on the way, swung on and chopped foul on the third base side. The count 0-1 to Griffin Butler, who is 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts.
Yeah.
Unlikely for him on his
Yes.
season so far.
Right.
So, as the home fans would say, he's due.
Yeah.
Back in the right-handed batter's box, and a pitch by the sophomore reliever on the mound. That almost looked like a balk-ish.
Well, and that was all because of Thomas Ivy there. He got a little jump.
Little wiggle
and,
over there.
Yeah, Inquist kind of reacted to it a little bit.
Yeah, he kind of had a little shimmy shake. The umpires didn't see it. And so now the count 0-2 on a swing and a foul back by Butler. And the pitch by Inquist on the way, swung on and fouled again. Count
stuck in the backstop.
Stays at 0-2. Talks about the velo, right?
Yeah.
One aboard for Wenatchee and one out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Scheduled for 7. And Inquist will step off the rubber. We talked about it being artificial surface here in the infield. The rubber is rubber, right?
The rubber is rubber and the
Okay.
plate is rubber.
Okay,
But
all right.
everything
Swing and a miss, and unlikely day for Mr. Butler as he strikes out 3 times today.
Yeah.
And that's back to the top of the order for Wenatchee for Owen Irvin. Owen Irvin's had an interesting day. He's been hit by a pitch twice, scored on a wild pitch back in the 5th to increase Wenatchee's lead to where it stands right now, 4-2.
And got on base by an error.
So he's been aboard 3 times today. Pitch on the way to him by Inquist is he squares to bunt. Snap throw down to first base by the catcher, not in time. I'll tell you, I'm impressed by Daniel Baez.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job back there. He had the one ball that got away from him, but I don't think that's going to be even close to considered a pass ball. I think it would be a wild pitch.
I had it as wild pitch.
Andy had a great play on that throw from Cruz Martinez, too.
Mm-hmm. Pitch here is a fastball missing away for ball 1. 1-1 the count, or 2-0 the count, excuse me, on Owen Irvin, leadoff batter for Wenatchee. Center fielder back in there. And a pitch inside and low for ball 3. You can see down the right field line better than I can.
Yeah.
Moses Lake have anybody warming up down there? Or?
They do not.
Okay.
No.
All right. So it's up to Mr. Inquist to get it done, as they say. Moses Lake trailing at 4-2, bottom of the 6th inning. Pitch swung on a hit hard, but on a hop right to the third baseman. He'll throw it across.
He caught that.
And it will be in time. And
throw it across anyway, right?
Yeah,
Just in case.
Exactly. Exactly. So that'll be it for Wenatchee. They get a runner aboard on a base hit, but man left. We'll head to the 7th, and it's must-go time for Moses Lake as they trail at 4-2. You're watching Big 9 Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
At Kennedy Group, we understand that buying and selling is more than a transaction, and it's more than just a house. This is where you will gather with friends and family, and where a lifetime of memories will be made. But buying a home is more than memories. Oftentimes, it's your biggest financial decision. The agents at Kennedy Group understand this and provide real estate advice based on your goals and dreams. Call us today, and let's find your happy place.
Tacos Chava has something new. Customers at Tacos Chava say it's the best Mexican food around. Nachos, enchiladas, tortas, ensaladas. And introducing camarones in many styles. You'll love the fresh salsa bar with so much selection. Are you ready for Tacos Chava? Find them at 2 great locations, the Wenatchee Valley Mall and Eniac. Tacos Chava, tan delicioso.
First pitch to the pinch hitter Wyatt Cole is a little bit high for ball one. Cole batting for Maddox Herod here to lead off the 7th. Last gasp for Moses Lake, trailing it by 2, and a foul back, and the count even now to Cole at 1 ball and 1 strike. Appreciate you joining us on the NCWLIFE Channel 4-2 ball game. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Save Mart. Shop smart, shop local, serving the Wenatchee Valley since 1962. Also by Tacos Chava. You love Tacos Chava in East Wenatchee. Now let them cater your next event. This pitch swung on and hit on a hop right to the shortstop, and a busy day out there for Matthew Butler, and he makes the throw in time for the out. 1 out here in the 7th, and scheduled is center fielder Jackson Carlos. He is coming to the plate.
Matthew
Tacos Chavos, by the way, real quick, you can find him on Facebook by searching Tacos Chava East Wenatchee.
Sorry about the
That's
interruption.
okay. That's okay.
Matthew Butler's been playing very poised over there at shortstop today.
First pitch sails outside on that slider. 1-0 the count to Carlos. Carlos with a busy day today. It was hit by a pitch, got around to third, but that was it back in the 3rd. He did get a base hit, stole a base, and scored in the 5th. This pitch is in there for a strike. The count even to Carlos at 1 ball and 1 strike, and trying to finish up his own work is Raiden Haynes here, trying to improve his season to 5-0. Pitch on the way. Swung on and hit hard.
Is that going to stay fair?
And that is a foul ball just barely down the left field line. Count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jackson Carlos. Jacoby Munoz waiting on deck here for Moses Lake. You know, I was looking back at the last several years for the Wenatchee Panthers against Moses Lake. It has not been so easy.
No.
Well, for anybody in the Big Nine, really,
right,
against Moses Lake. Pitch here is a slider. Strike 3 called. Gone looking is Carlos. 2 outs, and down to their final out is Moses Lake. Panthers were able to pick up a win last year in the first meeting between the two teams, 2-1, but then the Mavericks took the next 2. Out of the last 13 games between these two teams, Moses Lake has won 11.
Yeah.
Going back to 2021.
Yeah, they've been pretty good. I think the first game that I ever did with you was a Eastmont Moses Lake game, and there was a kid that ended up going to Gonzaga and pitching for Gonzaga, and they won the state championship in 2019. So they've been on a good little tear.
Pitch here misses inside for a ball. One thing we didn't see in our pregame show that will bring you in the replay of this at some point down the line, talking with Coach Donnie Lindgren. I said, how have you been able to keep, and how has Moses Lake been able to keep such a good program going for so long? And he says it's all about the youth programs. It's all about the youth and starting them young.
Yes.
And that's the case for any sport, any community, any program.
Yeah. You know, a high school coach can only do so much, and you got to have kids that know what they're doing. And, you know, I mentioned Quince Whitaker earlier, but he's been a huge part of this senior class all along because his son is senior, and they always had 2 teams when they were younger playing AAU and All-Stars and stuff. And when you have that, that's a definite benefit too.
Moses Lake bringing the winning run to the plate, or the tying run to the plate, but it will be erased quickly on a bounding ball to Brock Toffness. He will step over and tow the bag, and that will be it as the Wenatchee Panthers knock off Moses Lake in the first of 3 meetings between these two clubs. 4-2 is our final. We will come back with more here from Recreation Park. Coming up, our broadcast brought to you in part by Together for Youth, encouraging you to dispose of unused and expired prescriptions to protect youth and the environment. Find a kiosk near you by visiting medproject.org. Also by Valley Tractor, North Central Washington's trusted equipment and rental dealer for 75 years. We'll take a break, come back. The wrap-up of this one, 4-2, the final. Wenatchee on top. We're back right after this. Thank you. Thank you.
Highlander Golf Course and Grill, located in East Wenatchee, offers terrific views and challenging play for golfers at every skill level. From the golf course to the grill, you don't need to be a member to dine in style and play golf too. Highlander's well-groomed fairways and greens keep it difficult, yet friendly for your regular rounds of golf or a new destination for you and your out-of-town friends. Contact the Highlander Pro Shop today to schedule your tee time, outing, or tournament. Open 7 days a week, where everyone is welcome to play and eat. Global Car Care has the best customer service in the Valley. From the moment you walk in the door, their goal is to help you stay on the road, so you can keep doing what's important to you. Global Car Care certified ASE mechanics stand behind your automotive repairs.
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chase on the other side. We can lift this up.
Great, I want that one. I like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
You've got a lot to do today. While you're out and about, remember to dispose of your unused medications safely and anonymously. It's a simple act that makes your home a safer place. Next time you're at the pharmacy, just place them in the drop box. To find a location, visit medproject.org.
Welcome back one more time around here at Recreation Park, where the sun sinks to the west, and it is still high enough here to glow upon the Wenatchee Panthers after a 4-2 win over the Moses Lake Mavericks in the first of 3 games this week, along with Brandon Schmitten, Eric Granstrom on the NCWLIFE Channel. Well, I'll tell you what, it was a banner day for Raiden Haynes. He goes all 7 innings, gets the win on the mound, and then at the plate, he gets a couple of base hits here today, goes 2 for 3, has a double, has a single, helped his own cause, and the Panthers, pretty solid game here today. This is my first chance to see them this year, and I thought they looked pretty good.
Yeah, they looked really good. And, you know, when they did have mistakes, which were very few and far between, they didn't make those compound upon one another.
Right. Which can happen easily, especially in high school baseball.
Very easily, yeah. And Raiden, we talked about this earlier in the game. He came out and got ahead in the count, first pitch strike, and just continued to throw strike after strike. And he had that slider going, and I think was getting a couple extra inches on the outside half of the plate, and said, you know what, if I'm going to continue to get those from the umpire, I'm going to continue to throw it there, and it's a very difficult pitch to hit. So he was a smart pitcher today that had good placement with his ball and a ton of movement, and did everything that he needed to do to get the win.
Meanwhile, the pressure put on by Wenatchee's offense, I think, accounted for some of the gaps defensively for Moses Lake in the game. They had, 5 errors in the ball game here today, and I think a lot of that can be contributed to Skyleman's style of play, where he's got guys moving. He's got guys that are stretching and trying to get an extra 90 feet, and, you know, sometimes that ball's right in front of you, and you look up, and the guy's moving, and that makes you do things that you don't normally do.
Yeah, and we saw that both teams did that, you know, with a hustle out of the box by a guy from each team, and ended up getting what should be an easy single and turned it into standing on second base because of bobble by the outfield. And, you know, I think one of the key plays that we talked about early, but we didn't mention it again, was Nolan Godfrey.
Yeah. Yep. He was one of the highlights I wanted to throw in there.
It was like crazy, and then he came out and hit a triple in the next at bat. Huge.
Absolutely. The Panthers get the win here today. By the way, in the ball game here today, we talked about Nolan Godfrey. He's 1 for 2 with a run. Matthew Butler, 1 for 3 with a run. James Butler, 1 for 1 with 2 RBIs. I mean, there's your offense right there in the top part of your order, just where you want them to be.
Exactly. And you had Owen Irvin on every at bat, right?
Yep.
And when he gets on base, it's a difference changer, because now the defense can't play relaxed. They have to think, as you said, they have to think quick. And unless you are practicing that with people that are running on a daily, or you're on a stopwatch on every ground ball that's hit to you, every ball that's hit to the outfield, it's not going to feel natural.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and now the challenge for Wenatchee is to go to Moses Lake, which is a difficult place to play at Larson Field, and to try to at least get a split and get the season win against Moses Lake. You don't have to win both games on Friday, but get one of them.
Yeah, and that's back many years ago, we were deciding on how we wanted to set up the league play. And as coaches, we said, hey, let's go ahead and go a 3-game set, because then there is no head-to-head tie. So if Wenatchee and Moses Lake end up having the same record at the end of the year and they're 1-2, well, whoever
wins,
whoever wins the 2 of this series would get it.
Hey, just a reminder, we've got Bighorn basketball coming up Thursday night from Wenatchee Valley College. Grant Olson will be courtside for your play-by-play as the Bighorns take on the Salem Capitals at Wenatchee Valley College. That is a live stream on our Facebook page at 7 o'clock on Thursday night. And then the following Thursday, as we get ready for Apple Blossom Festival, the Seattle Superhawks in town to take on the Wenatchee Bighorns. Grant, again, with your play-by-play. That'll be streamed live on our Facebook page starting at 7, actually 6:45 with our pregame show the following Thursday on April 24th. Hey, big thank you to our crew here today. Ethan Leonard back in the studio, our studio producer. Line producer on site is Dan Kutz. Cameras Paul Collard, Cheyenne Radich, and Callie Benson. And our production assistant, Tim Bernowski, who also added chauffeur and valet to his duties here today as well. On behalf of Brandon Schmitten, I'm Eric Granstrom. 4-2 the final as Wenatchee gets the win over Moses Lake and face 2 big challenges coming up Friday on the road. Good to see you again, my friend.
You as well,
Good
Eric.
to work with you and have your familiar face and voice on our broadcast.
Yes, it's always fun.
Appreciate it. We'll take a break. No, we'll wrap it up. That's it. There is no more. As Wenatchee tops Moses Lake here tonight by a final of 4-2. Have a good night, everybody.
The give and go. Good shot.
Thanks for joining us for live coverage of Prep Spring Sports on the NCWLIFE Channel. Today's broadcast has been brought to you in part by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Abby's Pizza, Apple Valley Honda, Biosports Physical Therapy, Coldwell Banker Cascade Real Estate, Global Car Care, Harvest Valley Pest Control, Highlander Golf Course and Grill, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling, Kennedy Real Estate Group, Les Schwab, Sangster Motors, Save Mart, Tacos Chava, Together for Youth, and Valley Tractor. We now return you to normal programming already in progress.
Scoring is Brittany Howe, and a 2-run double for Bella Clinton makes it a 5-0 ball game.